Hey everybody, welcome to Ellis Mowers. I appreciate y'all watching the channel as always. I've had a couple people ask for me to do a shop/used parts update here. I have not done one in a few months, and I figured now would be a good time now that October is here and small engine stuff, at least here in my area, is slowing down. I only have a couple of small repairs here, but I do want to explain what you see behind me. I'm going to do a more detailed video, probably for the holidays, Christmas and New Year's, of me doing a garage overhaul. And that's what's, there's a hint as to what I'm using to do a little bit of part storage. I got them for a whopping $2.40 for all 8 of those file cabinets. Thanks to a government auction, they had the starting bid of $1. It was 2 lots of 4 file cabinets, and I was the only bidder. So, that's how I got them for so cheap. Cheap part storage is what I really, really need. And we're going to organize this. We're going to hopefully go from start to finish the week of Christmas. So tune in for that. We're going to make this garage look a lot better. And it'll be a lot even more useful than it already is. May do a little bit of a preliminary walkthrough as to what I think I'm going to be doing as we go throughout this video. So there's a lot here. A whole lot, and we're going to pare this down and at the very least reorganize it here in the off season so that whenever 2023 comes in the spring, we're ready to go. So if you're looking for some cheap part storage and have the space to put file cabinets or something along those lines in, check your local government auctions. You never know what you might find, and you never know what you might get them for. So we'll start in the garage, go to the lean-to, go to the backyard, go to the shed back there in the back, and we're just going to go through everything. Hope y'all enjoy the video. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, Ellis at ellismowers.com or at ellismowers09 on Instagram and Facebook. I wish I had the time and the energy to sell some parts, because I would, but then the whole packaging, logistics, sending them off for probably what they would sell for, not really worth my time and effort. Might be in the future. We'll see what happens. Let's go ahead and get started on everything that I've got here. Alright guys, let's walk through. Today I'm going to get these file cabinets in the back. That way I can at least drive my Element again. A lot of people ask about the Element. I drive it probably about twice a week still. It's got over 230,000 miles. We go on Element trips with it. It is throwing an O2 heater circuit sensor code on and off, so I'll probably have to put an O2 sensor in that before long. But there's the file cabinets. There's all 8 of them. They're all empty. There's one broken drawer in one of them, and the rest of them there. Again, $2.40, thanks to the town of Holly Springs, North Carolina, which is about an hour away from me. And Gov Deals. So as you can see, I kind of have sold a few things that were in here over the past couple of months, and I have not replaced them with anything. I've done my best not to replace them. I've had nice dry weather, save for Ian, which happened right at the beginning of October. Just had no damage at all, just a lot of pine straw, a lot of pine cones and stuff to fill up. So in terms of what we have in here, it's not all that much. It's just a lot of cleaning up that I need to do, and that's, you see, like spindles and pulleys and carburetors and stuff I just kind of have here on this. This file cabinet situation is going to help a lot with that. Most of this workbench is most likely going away. I've got a standalone little small workbench that is sitting in my basement that I bought for a really good deal a few years ago. Thought I was going to be using it in the basement for, I don't know what, small 2-cycle stuff when I had the Walmart customer returns and electric blowers and stuff. Never really came to fruition. Going to move that in here, probably take this shelf away, put the power tools on top of that, and at least half of this is going away. So that's what's going to happen in here. A lot of this workspace, like I said, going away. Things like electric power tools are going to be going in a file cabinet as well. I have 32 drawers to fill, so I think we're going to be in good shape. again, I've got, like I said, I just got a bunch of cleaning up to do. I picked up one of these electric start things for them weed eaters so that I don't have to pull on like the Craftsman weed eaters, the Troy-Bilt weed eaters and stuff like that if I ever get them in. Again, like I said, I have a lot of cleaning to do, which will be accomplishing here before the holidays. This LX, I believe this is a 188 because it's a 17 horse. This will be getting put together fairly soon. I have all the parts here. It's just a matter of getting it out. I just literally have not gotten to it yet between customer repairs and other mowers that were quicker fixes that I could get in and out. This LT1000 is most likely going to take the engine and be donated to another frame because unless I use it as a hauler mower, I have no deck components that go on to that frame. I have a frame out there that has all the deck components. Probably will go on that as well as a transmission, or I'll just switch all the deck components over. I don't know what I'm going to do. Yeah, the Troy-Bilt back here had the cracked Kohler Courage. Again, I've been trying to work my way through the garage. It has just not been gotten to yet. A lot of the oil and stuff you see is going to go on top of the file cabinets or on another rack that I'm getting from HiPA, which brings me some items on the channel. I have some things right here that involve motion lights and lighting. Well, not motion lights, but that type of lighting. Light bulbs. Big thing I struggle with in the garage is when these doors are up, those lights you see on the top get blocked. So during the summertime, especially if it's darker outside, I don't really have a lot of light under the garage, and that's where I do most of my work in. So what I'm going to do is a cheap, I didn't even realize they did like under garage lighting, which is really cool, but it's about $300 and some, and I didn't want to put that type of investment in a garage that's not nice and brand new and stuff. So what I'm going to do is I have room. I'm going to hang two motion lights on each side, one near the corner, one kind of where that red element sign is, and just with 2 lights each. I think they're 800 lumens, maybe they're more than that, 1300 lumens I think, to shine down here. I'm going to do the same thing on this side as well. So one kind of in the corner, one over there kind of on the other side of the kind of where the electrical outlet comes up. We'll wire them to a separate switch, that way I can isolate the lights here and isolate my overhead lights. So the goal in here is to enhance part storage and also make it not a place that mowers like this are being stored in. I want lawnmowers that I am actively working on being stored in this garage, and that's it. Or ones that are extremely nice, one of the two. So that's the goal. The other goal behind it is I picked up this 10-foot by 20-foot portable canopy back when I thought these prices were going to double. They were like, it was like $110 for the whole canopy. This is mostly going to be my riding mower storage. And I think I'm going to put it in the backyard. I'll show y'all later in the video. This is going to be a really detailed video. And then I have, you know, things like decks and stuff in here. I've got a tire changer that I need to mount. So thinking with file cabinets, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 4 along the wall and then make a little aisle that's just wide enough so that I can pull the cabinets out or pull the drawers out and put a secondary aisle on the other side of them. So just so that I'm thinking the file cabinets will probably come out to almost the edge of the window, which will leave me the cabinet forward for working on stuff, which is fine. That is about, because I don't want to put it all on the back wall here, because what I tend to do, as you can see, is I try and use as much for storage as possible, and I feel like I'm going to be pulling drawers out or pulling items out of the way to get to the drawers that I need to get to often. So I'm going to make it so that I just have a little aisle so where I force myself not to do that. So that's what's going to happen here. I also don't want to block my Craftsman sign. I thought about getting some floor to ceiling cabinets. I just didn't come across any good ones, and these 8 file cabinets are going to work just fine. I could stack them one on top of each other if I wanted to, but I probably shouldn't, because I thought about moving my sign over there. Anyways, I've got some conduit here, and my grandpa actually had some of that 250 feet of that 12-2 and 14-2 wire. I'm like, do you know how much that costs? I don't want to take it from you if you're not going to use it. He's like, I'm never going to use it. So he also gave me this push mower that I just need to get running and sell. Put a wheel on it. One of them 3.5 horsepower classics. At this point, it's so dry around here, I don't think the grass is going to grow anymore. Even with the Ian storm. So that's kind of everything in the garage and kind of preliminary plans. Aside from the file cabinets and the lighting and putting that workbench and getting rid of most of this workbench, I really don't know what I'm going to do so far. The only things I need to keep mounted are my vise, which this workbench doesn't work very well because you can see it's just that thin plywood that's nailed down, and so any little amount of force is just causes that to go haywire. And then I also have my bench grinder that I will need to do something with as well. So that's what we're going to be doing in here. Like I said, I have a few other things that I can store in other areas. I just have to kind of figure out how. Let's go to the lean-to next. All right, guys, here we go in here in the lean-to. So we have quite a few things in here to work on. I haven't really even gotten to the back of this in quite a while, just because turning and burning, guys, just turning and burning. And the only customer repair that you'll really see in this video is that steel FS85R. It just needs a new trimmer head, and so we're waiting on that. And that's the only thing that's hanging over my head right now. This poor generator, the home light generator that I put the wheel kit on, I've been trying to sell this thing for 3 months. I had it at $250. I've dropped it to $200, and nobody wants a 5,000 watt generator, even in a hurricane, for $225. I can't believe it. So we're gonna see if I can get this thing sold. Crazy, right? I don't know if the wheel kit's hurting it or what, but hey, you can roll it around. The amount of no-shows I've gotten on this alone, and just people who have just disappeared, ghosted me, it's just been honestly ridiculous. It's kind of been the theme of the year. It's like, all you gotta do is tell me that you don't want it. Just tell me that you don't want it. It won't hurt my feelings. What will make me upset is if you say that you're coming, or say that you want it, and then just ghost me or not show up. This Troy built, y'all saw I got in a trade. It was my last load on my 5x8. Pretty sure it needs compression release. Basically took it off the trailer and rolled it in here. Just have not had time to get to it. So, but then a little things like, you know, the spark plugs and the gas caps. I want everything, almost everything, off of this rack right here to go in file cabinets. And I want to get this rack out of here and potentially put it in the garage. I'm not exactly sure where yet, but we'll see. You know, I'll keep my wheels and stuff in here, but I want to dedicate this lean-to almost exclusively to storage of mowers and other equipment, and not random stuff. But like I said, we'll probably keep the wheels and stuff in here. All the stuff back here I can go over real quick. Statesman, I know it needs a pull rope and probably a diaphragm. Somebody put plastic wheels instead of metal wheels on it, and that doesn't work on these tillers. So you got to have the metal wheels with the bearings. Lowe's push mower, it ran, but it didn't run good enough for me to sell. It seems like it's skipping or has a timing issue internally, or an intake valve not seating. Same thing with that one. So we're going to figure out some things with some push mowers in the off season. I think I'm just calling it for the rest of the year when it comes to trying to sell things, so that I can retool and be ready to rock and roll in the spring of next year, so that I don't have to work from behind all year. I feel like I never got caught up. My personal Husqvarna, we'll be getting that out pretty soon to do some pine straw pickup. Just need to put a battery in it. I'll show you the. I got a little surprise in the driveway as well. That Troy built needs a lot. The Honda needs a coil. Pressure washer probably doesn't need much. It just has been buried back here and have not gotten to it. And I have a few 2-cycle things. They may probably just end up be going to the trash. I don't know. We'll see if I can get a HiPA card kit or something for a few of them. A couple of them need a head too. Of course, I got my yard trailer back here, and the one thing that I really, really, really would like to get going this year is this wheel horse. I've had it for almost 2 years now, and it's literally just sat back here waiting for me. Just waiting for me. And so I'm excited personally to hopefully get this thing back going again. I would love it. It was my wife's grandma's, and then her dad had it, and it just stopped running, and he just ended up they just ended up letting it sit, and then I ended up getting it from him. He just let me have it. So I'm excited to get it running. I'll have to show it to them. They just don't have much of a need for it at their house. They got a full-blown tractor on 10 acres. So you see I got engine storage and stuff up here, a couple of tires. Maybe I'll tidy this up a little bit too. There's one of them small tires. There's a new tire up there. So yeah, other engine parts and covers and stuff. It's just going to have a good going through here over the next couple of months. And I'll hopefully have everything done by Christmas to show you all the final product. Like I said, I got a bunch of flywheels here. Probably end up getting rid of a few of these parts. Air filters, just consolidating a bunch of stuff into one area. Belts, a bunch of belts over here too. I'll try and figure out a better way to do belt storage. So that's the lean-to. And I said up here with some nails and whatnot. I got some belts up there too. Just like I said, just a matter of organizing some things to make it better in here. But this I want to be dedicated almost exclusively to storing whatever lawn equipment, save for this still staying in here. I don't like that because it takes away a lot of the room, and I have to kind of funnel it through back there in order to get things back in the back. So that might be going to the back as well. We'll see. But okay, so let's go to, I'll say the backyard for last because we got a lot to cover in the backyard. We'll go to the little shed next. Hopefully the light is good enough. This is unfortunately has been the catch-all of everything, mostly engines though. But I have some tires back there. Those are the big garden tractor tires, and a few baggers that'll eventually sell whenever I have a mower that'll work. The shed does leak somewhere. I put some tar up on the roof and it's still leaking from somewhere. But you know, for storage of things like this, it keeps most things dry. I got this shelving unit that probably needs to be scrapped, honestly, because it's leaning and it's doing its job right now, but got to be really careful. Just a bunch of random stuff just thrown in bins here that just needs to be sorted out. That's really what needs to happen here. Nothing really much else. Like I said, I got some Kohler Command, a bunch of engines that are just waiting, and engine parts, which is really nice because I've had to use some parts here, engine covers, things along those lines that are good to have. Complete engines that just need to be put on things. It just kind of depends. That 14.5 back there is the one that I think had a governor issue, but may have just been a carb adjustment that it needed. I'm not, like I said, I'm not completely sure. I got some crates in the back there that will help with storage as well. Maybe not so much in the garage, but in here. We'll figure out what to do with this situation, but it's not really safe as it is. And the shelves are kind of not tall enough to really do anything, and it's leaning. And like I said, I'm not sure. This will probably be the last area that will get cleaned out. Like I said, this is a catch-all. Just a bunch of engines and stuff in here that are looking for homes, which a couple of them do have homes if I can get them going. So I don't want to get too far back there. But some wheels and whatnot back here too. And so we've got a lot here that will be sorted through in the coming weeks. So a couple of random parts again I got from my friend Jesse. Pretty much got them, threw them in here. Haven't really had time to sort it out. Time is of the essence, guys. Man, this has been rough. Feel like time just slips away from you. But let's go to the backyard. We have a lot to cover in the backyard. All right, guys. So we're starting the backyard. These are 2 custom repairs that are leaving today. But man, look at what we got going on back here. I'm a little bit embarrassed, actually. Maybe even a little bit more embarrassed. But you see all that stuff in the back there too. That's basically growing up with weeds. Not the best. Y'all have seen a few of these. These 2 mowers are actually free. This Craftsman, the cables are shot, the self-propel's frozen. I figured that if I put a recoil on it, probably a carb, make it into a push mower, be $100 or so. Troy built. Probably just needs a little bit of I don't know if it's got a bent shaft or not. But toggle switch probably is all that it needs. And then we're working on these 3, probably some of the first ones that I work on this fall. These first 2 I got from my friend Jesse. Y'all saw in the first video of the new trailer, which has made 3 trips so far and has done amazing. I need to change the wiring on it. It is working just fine as it is right now, and just like I said, just a matter of time. So the Yardman doesn't currently run. It looks like it has had an engine swapped into it because it's got a 12.5 flathead, which isn't a bad thing on it. It's got the little skinny tires on it though, and the 38-inch deck is sitting in that little pile of decks right there. The green lawn tractor runs. The deck things are bent out a little bit, but I may have a 42-inch deck I can put on this. We'll see. Like I said, we'll be coming down the pipe. Y'all remember this mower last year? I did an extensive hydrostatic transmission swap on this Husqvarna, whereas it had originally the plastic transmission on it that broke at like 65 hours. I sold this to a woman in her 80s. She used the remainder of last season and this season, and just needed a drive belt mid-season, but it now has almost 200 hours, and something has happened inside the engine. I don't know what has happened, but ever since I've gotten this mower, this thing has had excessive oil consumption. It doesn't leak, it doesn't smoke. So it's got the 24 horsepower V-twin. I hope that it's not an engine issue to where we're going to have issues with that we have to swap it. We'll see if it's just a head issue or something along those lines. But it did all right. It's just not very good for a woman who's in her 80s, lives by herself. So that's where I had an LX 277 that I found for $500, and that's what she used to have. She's currently using that. I'm going to refresh it for her this winter so that it will last her probably the rest of her life, hopefully. Back here, we've got weeds on weeds on weeds, and we're going to get there. The Scott's mower, there's a bunch of stuff back here that I don't know what it needs. We're going to get to them one by one. The tires are square, and it was all I could do to get off the trailer, and it's just been hanging out here. The Cub Cadet has an oil leak at the front. Oil seal, I'm pretty sure. This thing should be good. I believe we'll be able to get this one running. It may take a little bit of time. The GT Craftsman is on the short list to get done this winter. It needs to get done. It is too nice of a mower and in too good a shape for me to have it sitting out here for the past year. Poland Pro in the back. Some engine things missing off of it. The deck sitting right here. probably one of the first 5 that I work on. The Saber, missing air filter. I think it just has carb issues, and I got to figure out something with the blade engagement. Not quite sure. Mower's in decent condition overall, though, so that one's definitely going to get saved. Never have done a Scots or a Saber to completion, so I would love to do one of those in the fall here. There's an Ariens back there I don't have a deck for. The engine is missing the head off of. Although the engine seems to turn, I was told that it may have a transmission issue too. I'm not sure. Seat's in really good shape though. You all know the issues with seats like this on this 54-inch Craftsman. Here's a deck here for an LT1000. It looks like it was an electric PTO setup though, with the way that the tensioner and whatnot is, and with it not having blade brakes. We'll see if we can convert that over at least to something that will engage and disengage mechanically. Shouldn't take too much. Don't know if this needs an engine swap. This one originally had a Kohler 26 horsepower. It's got the 54-inch deck, which is in good shape. Again, weeds have taken over. July and August are terrible for weeds. They'll die off here in a few weeks, and I'll be cleaning all this stuff out. It's got a Briggs on it now, a V-twin, but it's had running issues for as long as I can remember. I think the fuel tank's got a bunch of junk in it too, so I got to clean the fuel tank out and things along those lines. This is the frame I was talking about for the 18 horsepower Craftsman that was in the garage. It's complete. It's got all the deck hardware, mounting hardware and stuff. I've got a hood for it, so we got plenty of things that we can do here when it comes to this. Transmission came out of an old Craftsman. Everything works forward wise, but reverse doesn't want to play ball very well, so we're going to put another transmission in it. Again, I got a lot of work to do here. Got a 14 horsepower overhead valve, 38-inch cut Craftsman 2 mower here that I got for very little money last year with the D105 John Deere. Again, it's just one of those situations. I didn't get out here and wasn't able to get it fixed. I think it just requires getting some things going. I think it may need deck spindles too, but I have a supplier that gives me deck spindles in exchange for a video, so that's good. Between this and the LX188 inside, this mower will be going away after I finish the LX188. I may take the engine off of it and maybe try and sell it as an individual unit, because I don't know if I'll ever use a liquid cooled Kawasaki on anything. Don't really get a lot of them in. And that one's a little 15 horsepower twin, so I don't know if I'll use parts off of this or try and sell it to see if it'll at least crank, take it off, sell it, scrap the frame. Transmission's leaking in the back, so I don't know if I'm even going to try and worry about saving anything else off of it. Nothing really left to save on this Craftsman except for the engine, which is a 12 it's Kohler Command 14, I'm sorry. I took the hood off of this and put it on a different mower because it was in a better shape. Basically, the rest of the mower's trash, save for potentially the transmission. Take off a few things like these little plunger buttons, because you cannot find these anymore. And a couple other things. Nothing much left on that one. Poland Pro, I think I've already gone over. Stuff in the weeds here, my goodness. Where do we start? I think this one's only good for an engine and maybe a transmission. There's too much missing off of it to continue or to try and figure out. I got that one last year. Basically has been sitting there since. This one right here was missing some parts. I picked it up for 50 bucks, I think at the very beginning of 2021. And again, haven't been able to get around to it. Then we've got this Toro that is most likely going to be scrapped. Maybe not. We'll see what we need to do. Because it's missing some hydrostatic transmission springs. The engine's it's a Kohler Courage engine with a cracked block and things of that nature. This is that Craftsman that had the bad engine that's blown up, and it's just, like I said, weeds have just taken over this junk. I've got to pull all this mess out. I've got a tiller over there that just needs an engine put in it. A good deck. The Lowe's mower, I hate it because the guy gave it to me, and I really want to rebuild this, even though it doesn't look like it needs to be rebuilt. That might be a fun project coming along the lines. That Murray has a good deck, although it's, like I said, weeds are taking over. There's another Murray back there that I think would just need deck spindles to get it running. That Tiger mower I've had ever since the beginning of last year. I got those two mowers in a package deal for free. Parked them there, haven't been able to get back to them. Husky mower in the weeds. Took the engine off, deck's in good shape. I was told the variable drive pulley was bad. So if I pop an engine on that, I might have a good mower. Let's walk down here. Like I said, I've got various push mowers. The weeds have just taken over here, guys. You'll probably think I'm a hoarder. No, this is what happens when time slips away from you. We can pull these things out of the weeds. I mean, it's not that bad. And a few of these push mowers I should be able to save. There's a sickle mower in there that I wish I would have saved earlier than I have now. Like I said, when the weeds die off, it'll be a lot easier to get to these items. And we'll be pulling them out anyways over the course of time. This Craftsman I got at the beginning of last year. Seat's in good shape. Missing a tire. Couldn't get the engine to turn over when I tried last time. I think it had a bad starter. Might be able to free it up. The Murray's basically scrap. It's got an opposed twin on it. Hood's bad. Deck's bad. It's got the garden tractor tires on it, which is kind of nice. And I mean, it is scrap. I will have to scrap it. This Craftsman right here is probably the same. It's got an opposed twin on it. Tires are squares. 6-speed transmission on it. Probably good. Rear mounted gas tank. Nothing really to save on it, I don't think. This Murray probably will get a second life as long as I have good enough tires in order to allow it to. It'll be in decent shape after I get all the pine straw and stuff off. Various other push mowers here that need various things done. This is probably scrap. That one honestly is probably scrap too, because it's missing a bunch of carb parts. And the others may be able to at least get some push mowers out of it. As we move over here, we have a couple of hoods. I got a Troy built hood right there. Those really don't ever go bad. I might wash that up and see if I can sell it as a individual unit. A couple of decks here. Do I have 3 decks? One of them's an MTD. One of them's a Craftsman. Like I said, I might have one for that one of them Yardmans in the front there. Craftsman hood, Wizard hood, various parts that I could throw away in that bin back there. We'll go back and take a look at it. Got some seats that are just trashed. I had been saving them just because I was going to put foam in them and stuff and put them on cheap mowers, but don't really need to do that. So that just needs to go have a little bit of sorting through. Like I said, a couple of mowers that have just been taken over by weeds. It's a little embarrassing, but we're going to get around to cleaning this out. We're not going to fix all of them. We're going to fix the ones that I think can be fixed and clean out the rest. We have a good 4 solid months to work on stuff without really having a lot of customer repairs come in, and I'm excited for that. So we have a few mower frames, push mower frames over here. I've got a tiller that's probably just I'm going to take the recoil off of it and call it a day. And that I believe that has a bent crankshaft for the wood chipper. Again, just situations where basically I had just enough time to put them back here and be done. So I'll have to look at these decks and see if I've got one that'll fit on one of those mowers before I start trying to do deck swaps and stuff along those lines. So that is the backyard tour, and that is a lot, I know. And I think that's everything, honestly. So let's go ahead and wrap this video up. I have not done a complete, thorough update of everything that I have had in a long time, and so I was hoping that y'all would enjoy something along those lines. We've got a couple of John Deere push mowers in here, the old gray, the old silver ones, a couple of Tecumsehs. They're basically complete. I just don't know if they're too far gone to save. Like this one right here is probably too far gone to save. We'd probably just go take it to the scrap. Got plenty of parts and all that good stuff. Same with riders. We're probably gonna load that trailer up, take her up to scrap it at some point. So let's wrap this video up, and I need to get to work. And also, we're getting near the end of the growing season. Look at these banana trees that I've got back here. I got to do a bunch of trimming and whatnot of bushes and shrubs and stuff, especially in the backyard as well. Back where we were, back behind where I have my mowers. Them things have gotten massive though. Just absolutely huge. I have weeds growing I've had to kill. I mean, it has been a heck of a summer when it comes to growing weeds and things like that. So, that's everything in this video today. I hope y'all enjoyed it. It's been a long time since I've done a really thorough video of basically everything that I have here. And it's a lot. It is a lot. But for the first time in 3 years, I have the entire off season to work out here and get things fixed, get things organized with my file cabinets and everything. I'm excited for that. Turn my garage into a working garage that looks more professional than what I have now. That is the goal. I am not currently at the time trying to go full-time with this. We'll see how things go. I have other ideas on the table that I might want to try. Just need to justify the income stream to be enough in order for me to do it full-time. You encompass health benefits, and you know the job I currently have has great benefits and free cable and all the good stuff. So just kind of, can I supplement what I'm going to lose if I leave there with what I do here? And currently I cannot. So that's where I'm at. Still doing this on the side, which is just fine, but I want to be set up to make it look more professional and more organized around here. So that's my goal over the winter. I want to have as close to a dozen riders as possible going. I don't want to be going into March with my pants down, so to speak, and not have anything ready and be scrambling all like I've had the last 2 summers, trying to keep up with repairs, trying to get things turned around to get out, and don't want to be doing that. I did not run as hard this year as I did last year. My goal was to not run as hard this year as I did last year. So I hope y'all enjoyed this update. And like I said, I think I'm going to reserve the full garage overhaul for the week of Christmas and New Year. So I hope y'all enjoy that as well. If you see any ideas or anything that you see in this video that may help me out, feel free to reach out to me or throw it in the comments. Either way, you can reach out to me, Ellis at Ellis Mowers 09, or on Instagram and Facebook, or Ellis at ellismowers.com. I'll get that right one day. I appreciate y'all watching as always. Thanks for the support, because people like y'all help keep people like me motivated to do some small engine work and just throw it out on YouTube. So it's a great community. I wish I could be involved more with it. Time is of the essence though, and I feel like I use every spare minute to either, if I'm not recording YouTube, working on something, fixing something, or doing something with my family, which is what should be most important anyways. So thank y'all again. Hope y'all enjoyed this very thorough update, and I'll catch y'all on the next video. See you then.